When you first join our server, you will be brought to the onboarding page. Here you can choose what you want to do in our community. So, firstly, we highly recommend choosing Keep Up with the Server News. This enables you to get updates on new channels that we create, new events, if we have any staff openings, new changes to the server, pretty much anything. So please at least choose that one. You don't necessarily have to, but we highly recommend it. The trading cards ping isn't really used that often, but it's used when our trading rules update or if there's news about cards in the Monopoly game itself. You can choose as many as you want, but you at least need to choose one. Now you go to the next question. So this is what kind of ping rolls you want to have. So these top four are our most popular ping rolls, and then you have the rest of the ping rolls. All right, and so then the next question is for in-game events. So these are pings that we use when an event happens. Okay, and on to the next and final question. You just choose where do you live, what region you are in. One last step, you just have to read these rules, and when you agree to them, click Finish. So once you finish, it will take you to this server guide. So you will be greeted with a nice message from the admin, and there's a little About our server section, some resources that we think will be useful for you. And then you see the Get Started section with Verify Yourself, read our FAQ, have questions. And those are just steps that, and read the rules. And those are just steps that we think would be beneficial for you guys to complete when you first join the server, and even if you've already been in the server. And so on this left side, you can see all the channels I currently have enabled. Now, these reflect what I chose in the channels and roles section. Alright, and you may be wondering, where are all the other channels, like the trading channels, the general chat, etc.? Well, if we go to the top of the server again, where the server guide is, click on that, you'll see the first step is to verify yourself. Once you do that, you will be able to have access to all of the channels. So, you can click on this little icon. What you want to do is you want to read the welcome message, scroll up, and you'll see this message. You want to click this green verify button, and then scroll back down if it doesn't automatically scroll for you. And you can ignore this first one, you can dismiss the message if you want. And you'll be shown this panel. The only button you really need to worry about is click me to verify. And if you need any help, you can just open a support ticket and we'll help you verify. So I'm going to click to verify and it's going to show a pop-up. It may or may not do the same for you. And it'll ask if I want to go to the website, click visit site. It's a safe site, and that is how you verify. So I'm going to go and do that real quick. Alright, so you may have noticed on the left-hand side that I got access to more channels. So I'm just going to dismiss that message. On the left-hand side here, you can see a few that just opened, the server stats and official news. And I also got all the channels in the info category, as well as the giveaways and events category. You can see all the channels in there. Also got access to the support channels and the Made with Love channels, as well as the achievements, donations, capped dice, and trading channels. If we go back to the server guide at the top of the server here, you can see we completed the verify yourself. Our next goal is to read the FAQ, and this just gives more information about our server and the most popular channels that people use. So if we go to the questions channel here, we have now successfully completed the server guide. When you finish that, you can go back up to the server guide. And here it now turns into resources. So if you ever need help finding anything, you can always come back to the server guide and look at these. Turn on Show All Channels. So we have a desktop computer version and a mobile version. They look a little different, but they're all in the same place. So when you click this caret up here at the top of the server, notice how Show All Channels is not on. So this means there will be some channels that I'm missing. So what you want to do is make sure that is on. And now you see all the channels. All the channels. So I had most of them before, but now I have every single one. It is also important to note that, let me go back to the channels and roles, that if you change anything in this section, if you add or remove something, the all channels turns off. So you may have noticed on the left that channels disappeared when I did that. That's because show all channels, again, was turned off. So you want to make sure if you ever add or remove something from the channels and roles section that you turn show all channels back on. Okay, so now that we know that show all channels should be on at all times, let's go into the notification settings. So when you click that, this little panel comes up and it has a bunch of options. This first option, you want to have it off. It should be gray. If you turn it on, you will get no notifications ever at any time. And at that point, why are you in the server? So this next section is for notifications, and you will probably want to only have it set to only at mentions. So that means if someone tags you or a role that you have, such as giveaway ping, then you will get notified. Now, this next section, you should also keep all of these off. You can turn on suppress everyone, and here we do not use the everyone tag anymore. I have instilled that in our staff. You may notice Dr. iPhone does it, but he can do whatever he wants. It's his server. And we will use at here if we do a surprise giveaway or event, but other than that, we will not use either of those tags. The next one is suppress all role mentions, and you want to have that off because otherwise, why would you choose a role to then not be notified? Again, you can always add or remove roles. So this next section is mobile push notifications, and it's usually on by default, and it only affects your Discord mobile app. So sometimes it will notify you of all messages being sent. So if someone is looking for a card, it'll notify you of that. If someone's checking their rep, it will notify you of that. It honestly depends on your Discord settings and a few other settings that we'll talk about in a second. But we recommend having it on so you don't miss anything. Notification overrides are for when you suppress all notifications. So if someone pings a role you have, you still won't be notified. Or if someone tags your Discord handle, you won't be notified. You can select a certain channel that you still want to receive notifications in. So let's say you have all notifications off, but you still want notifications for server announcements. You just select it and it will be put into the override category. Now for the final category, you can see some of these are muted. So we can click out of that. You can see that entrance and invitation are grayed out, and that's because I have them muted. So depending on your Discord settings, you may be getting notifications for every single message that happens in every single channel. And obviously that can get annoying. So you can mute a channel. As you can see, there are different time periods or until you turn it back on. Right below the mute channel option is notification settings. Now, usually it is set to only at mentions, so you don't normally have to worry about it. But sometimes channels are set to all messages, so you obviously probably don't want notifications of when someone joins the server, so you can change it to only at mentioned or nothing. And to get to this category, you just right click a channel name if you're on desktop or long press and hold on mobile. What happens when you mute a channel? As you can see, some of the channels are highlighted in white with white circles on the left-hand side, and that means that there are new messages. And the ones that don't have the highlight or the dot next to it means there are no new messages. If I muted the Prestige channel until you turn it back on, it becomes grayed out, and it no longer has the highlight or the dot. The only way to check if there are new messages in that channel would be to click on the channel itself. If you still need help, you can open a support ticket by going to the support ticket channel and clicking the red button here. This message will pop up, and if you scroll to the top of the server, you will see your ticket. You can also just click the ticket button in that pop-up message. Now make sure Show All Channels is on, because if it isn't, sometimes your ticket will disappear after you type and leave the channel. So please make sure Show All Channels is on. And tickets are completely private between you, the moderators, and admins.